Boxing. It's the foundation of our amazing program. And I know you'll agree with me when I say there's nothing more exhilarating than to see and to hear our fighters taking their fight to the bag and just letting it have it. Oh my goodness, we truly do have the best job. As you're going to see throughout this video, I have a lot of fun with my boxers and they enjoy it as well. And we're a pretty tight-knit family. So it's truly awesome to be able to get up every day and know that you and I are making a difference in other people's lives. As an RSB coach, my job is to teach people living with Parkinson's how to box. So in other words, my job is to help slow the progression of the disease down, give them more independence, longevity, but not to make them into Muhammad Ali. And so that can be done with some advanced planning and some creativity. We can have some really fun classes, and that's what we're going to talk about today. When I sit down and plan my routines, I'm thinking about each fighter and what they struggle with the most, but I'm also thinking about how to keep it fresh yet challenging. After a while, that can become a real issue. Sometimes we get a little burned out and we need somebody to help us refocus and give us fresh ideas, which is why I'm on this particular subject this month. I want to help your creative juices begin to flow and perhaps help you think outside the box when you're writing your routines. Over the past 3 years, my fighters have taught me so much, and I'd love to share some of that info with you because it has truly transformed my training style, and I know it will help you too. The first thing I do is focus on repetition. Repetition is the key to facilitating new neural pathways. We know exercise assists with neural repair, adaptation, and may even protect functioning dopamine neurons from possible damage. So just think about this. All this time, exercise has been the missing link, but not anymore. That is so powerful to think that we get to be a part of this amazing fight. So now back to repetition. I have found that having my boxers repeat a combination 3 to 5 times greatly reduces their symptoms, and they perform their strength training exercises better as well, all because of improved neural patterning. But this is really important. You got to remember this crucial tip. The warm-up must mirror the work phase. This is essential to improving neural pathways. So in other words, if you're going to do squats in the work phase, you've got to do squats in the warm-up. I'm going to show you some different videos of us shadow boxing and how you can use those combinations in your work phase. And I'll also give you some direction on what the combinations are focused on. But we do a lot of shadow boxing here at Music City and Franklin. And we do most of it during the warm-up phase. We will do shadow boxing combinations that challenge their ability to move in different directions, that challenge their mental focus, and prepare them for the boxing portion in the work phase, and even some functional exercises as well. There are several styles of combinations that I like to do. One being the accumulator, 2, the HIIT, which we know is high intensity interval training, and then I also have something called the kitchen sink, which I'll explain a little bit later. Back to my accumulator. An accumulator is where you start with one particular combination, say jab, cross, jab, and you do that for a certain amount of time that you can decide works best for your group, and then you keep adding on. So jab, cross, jab, 5 squats, and you do that for a while, and then jab, cross, jab, 5 squats, 10 uppercuts. And you just keep adding on, and it gets longer and longer and longer. They have to think more. They're getting exhausted, which is good because we want to push them as much as we can. That forced intense exercise we know is so crucial for them. And I'll tell you, my fighters hate the word accumulator, but they report improved cognitive skills and endurance in the days following the class. So you know what? We do it a lot. And you will notice that almost every single boxing combination I do can be turned into an accumulator, one way or the other. The other style is the HIIT, high intensity interval training. High intensity moves for a set time, so maybe jab, jab, cross for 30 seconds. Tell them to give it their all. followed by an active recovery for 15 seconds. And it might be, just slow jab crosses, whatever you want to do. And I love this style because it challenges their endurance and it leaves them whooped. And you can totally decide how long you want your high intensity portion to be versus your active recovery. And then I also like to do the kitchen sink, which you'll see an example of in our video. And then we also have a video from a live class where one of my coaches, Dale, is taking them through what I call the kitchen sink. But basically, we call out various punches or footwork, and they try to respond as fast as possible. Now, these are just a few styles I like to incorporate into our program here at Rocksteady Boxing Music City in Franklin. And I really would love to hear from you of your ideas because I'm always learning as well. So let's get going.